Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Total Retail Talks. I'm Caitlin Sullivan, Associate Content Editor with Total Retail. Today, I'm joined by Carolina Gomes, Director of E-commerce at JanSport, retailer of backpacks, luggage, and collegiate apparel. We're going to be discussing how a newly redesigned e-commerce site has helped boost back-to-school sales and prepared the company for a very hectic holiday season. Carolina, thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course, my pleasure. Hello, everyone.
So I guess jumping right into it, what made JanSport want to redesign their website?
That's a great question. Just for context, like JanSport, as everyone knows, it's been around for quite a while, and our brand awareness and recognition is pretty high and very strong, especially in the US. But essentially, e-commerce and direct-to-consumer is a very new part of the business. We launched at JanSport.com over 3 years ago in May 2013. And then when we first launched the site, we did took a responsive site framework approach to make sure that the site was nicely optimized to mobile. But the challenge there is that essentially you're taking a desktop design or a user experience that was envisioned for a desktop or a larger screen and just narrowing that down to a small screen on your mobile devices. So great functionality, essentially the approach that every other brand is using, but not excellent for a mobile experience. So that being said, like knowing how much mobile it's driving our business, it's about 50 to 55% of our traffic, and back to school, August specifically, went up to 60%. Like we noticed that there was definitely an opportunity to improve that design and revisit the experience on the homepage to make sure that we're capturing and leveraging what the user is looking for. So that's where we partnered with ClickTail, and it was an amazing partnership where they helped us understand the main pain points. And together with our internal digital labs team, we were able to find a true mobile optimized homepage for JanSport. Timing was perfect. Launch was right before back to school, so around mid-June 2016, and it was definitely one of the key growth drivers for the season.
Absolutely, and jumping ahead, that goes right into my next question, is that you hear retailers always have to be omni-channel in a very all-on commerce. And we really do have to take like a mobile approach, and it looks like JanSport really brought it to a new level. Can you tell us a little bit about how mobile has affected the traffic, how it's affected sales, and just really with that mobile-first approach?
Sure, that's a great question. So fun fact is that all our growth this year is pretty much coming from mobile devices. Again, 60% of our traffic over back to school is from mobile. Our desktop traffic is pretty much flat. So essentially, it just reinforces how and why we should be looking at mobile. How are we looking at mobile first approach moving forward? Well, even on a paid search investment, most of our investment is going to be around mobile next year. I feel like right now the brand and a lot of other retailers are out there, they're pretty optimized on desktop, but our investment is essentially shifting to mobile while keeping desktop nicely optimized. So for next year, I want to say our number one priority for paid search is going to be around mobile, fully optimizing that channel and trying to understand how do we leverage remarketing and display there as well. But as of right now, the only growth driver for traffic for JanSport.com is essentially on mobile. So it's funny because everyone says, I feel like it's been 2 or 3 years that you hear, oh, this is the year of mobile. And I think it's not the year. It's like essentially this is a trend. This is happening. It's not going anywhere. And it's just going to get bigger and bigger, especially in the demographics like JanSport.
What do you think are some of the key things that JanSport has done on this new mobile site to make it so easy to navigate and has kind of had this huge boost in sales?
So as of right now, the main focus was on the homepage. So when we partnered with ClickTail, we were noticing that our users were essentially just going over our top navigation and not really interacting with any of the great marketing content that we're putting, throughout the homepage. So that was definitely alarming, and there's no engagement below the fold for both desktop and mobile, being honest. So clearly there's some sort of challenges on how we were designing our homepage and how we were prioritizing the messages. So essentially what we did is that we prioritized our messages in the hero of the homepage and essentially created 4 different modules right below our main message on the homepage, where even though once you look at the homepage, you're seeing marketing content, the way we envision that is essentially based on how the user was navigating our top nav. Why is that important? Because on mobile devices, the users pretty much interact with visual. It's a very visual experience, very visual user. So the 4 modules below the main hero of the homepage, for us, they're essentially navigation modules. So you're seeing there as of right now, like all backpacks, which is number 1 clicks for the homepage. New news are always going to be there. Another key category for us is digital or laptop compatible bags. So again, it's a representation of the top navigation, and we are finishing our semi-annual clearance, so it's also there. So, which is interesting. Like a lot of retailers put your promotional message as the main message because of how much engagement we get in those navigation modules. We feel very confident on having like even a promotional message in one of those modules as well. So I think this is one of the key things for us, like looking at the insights, looking at how the users are trying to find their backpacks, and actually bringing those insights to a visual perspective and making that very easy for mobile for them to find it. And right below that, we have a pretty nice curated list of products that are our bestseller products, which it's after the modules are the number two items of engagement in the homepage. So again, I want to say it's like prioritizing the elements, making sure that the users can find what they're looking for on the navigation previously on a nice visual navigation module, and prioritizing how they shop, how they think, and making that process much easier on mobile devices. So again, mainly on the homepage, and as of right now, we're going through the I want to say like the investigation process on the cart and the checkout, which is all the way down the funnel. But again, a very critical part for us to optimize that process. So we're going to be working on cart and checkout for launch that in Q1 next year. And then right after that, we kind of go back up to the funnel and work on product pages and category pages.
No, and you touched on something very briefly, but I thought was pretty critical that we hear all the time, is that tons and tons of people have always said, this is the year of mobile, this is the year of mobile. And I couldn't agree more that it's always the year of mobile. It's no longer just one year, it's just the way people shop. And as you were kind of talking about, I was thinking in my mind, like, with the navigation, you mentioned shopping carts and your products with those and paid search and how that'll affect mobile for JanSport. How do you see mobile playing a role in retail in 2017, not just for JanSport?
I think it has to be everyone's priority. I think it's a change on mindset for every e-commerce manager out there. At the end of change their mindset. It's not desktop first, it's mobile first for every single decision you make. Either user experience in your store, or again, acquisition, like challenger agencies, challenger partners should think mobile first as well. And creative, because we can have a nice little wireframe and a structure on your website that is mobile optimized, but you have to even train your creative partners to make sure that how do you think of copy? How do you think of call to actions and all these different touch points? They have to be mobile first. So I think moving forward, it's a mindset that needs to change. Instead of saying mobile first is actually thinking mobile first. And I would say I can see a lot of retailers or even our own wholesale partners changing the investment and pushing a lot on paid search, not as much on mobile quite yet, but I do feel like next year it's going to be a big mindset change and all investment and how you think internally needs to be mobile first. It's almost like I would rather be able to work on my phone, so I'm always looking at the experience on the phone. But that's how I see it and how I think about it.
I love the way you put that, which was just thinking mobile first. It has to be like well thought through. So Carolina, I just want to say thank you so much again for your time today. I really appreciate it. Please check out our podcast channel page, mytotalretail.com/podcast for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on iTunes and Stitcher, but make sure to subscribe to our podcast channel page as well. Lastly, please follow us on Twitter at MyTotalRetail or on Facebook at MyTotalRetail. Thanks, and I look forward to you joining us in the next episode of Total Retail Talks.